Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen Williams with the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about 1099-Cs, overstatements of the amount. We're going to talk about you need to watch out for predatory lenders, specifically mortgage companies, and opportunities that you might want to consider investing, because it looks like the tide is about to turn to be able to do some heavy investments, at least over the next few years. Okay, first let's start off with 1099-C overstatement. I had a question on YouTube about it today, and I had been seeing this with some other clients also. And what it is a 1099-C form is what, like say you had a creditor, they decided to forgive the debt. So what happens is they're going to send a form 1099-C to you and to the IRS, and for the amount that they put on there, the IRS is going to consider that income. So if you charged a credit card $10,000 and you didn't pay it and they did a debt forgiveness, they cannot sell it to a debt collector when they do this. So if you receive one from a debt collector and you had that 1099-C, they just broke the law by doing that. But they would send you that 1099-C saying that you got $10,000 worth of income that you used on the credit card and they forgave the debt. So what we're seeing happen right now is that they're overstating the 1099-Cs. A person left a chat for me on YouTube, or a message on YouTube, and they said that they did not remember charging no more than, I think it was $3,000, and they got it for $9,000, or they just didn't remember charging that amount, or they know they didn't charge up that amount. A lot of it was in fees. They're not allowed to put the fees on there. I don't care what they say. They're only allowed to do the amount that you actually charge. So what you're going to have to do if you have that situation is you're going to have to request all of your charges, the charges themselves, from the original creditor, and then you're going to have to contact the IRS and tell them that you want that amended because you have proof of the charges that you had, not the fees. Proof of the charge, because you did not receive fees as income. Only things that you purchase with the card is considered income. And so if you have a situation where the IRS contacted you about that amount, you need to contact whoever the contact is with the IRS. Let them know that you're not just overlooking this, but let them know that you need time to request documents from the original creditor showing that you did not charge that amount on that they're claiming on the 1099-C. And then you need to ask them who's going to be your contact person there, what documents they're going to need to have that adjusted, and who to send it to. And then you reach out to the original creditor, get those documents, make copies, and then get them to the IRS and send that certified mail so you have receipt that you did not just overlook that. So that's how you would handle that. The next thing I want to talk about is watch out for predatory lenders. I own real estate, and there's been I've been getting a lot of advertisements from companies wanting me to put mortgages on my properties or to refinance a property. And what seemed to have happened is that on all of my properties, my commercial and my personal and the rentals, I got my assessments, and the weird thing that happened was that all of the assessments on my rental properties went up over $20,000. My commercial building, that one had went from, we had bought it at a low price, this went up over $55,000. And my home went up over $50,000. They do that because this is going to open up the doors for the predatory lenders, because a lot of people wasn't able to refinance or to get mortgages on properties because the values had went down. So what they've in essence done is they've increased the assessments, which we all know that the properties that are assessed usually would go $10,000 to $20,000, sometimes $30,000, depending on what area you live in, where they'll be able to give refinance those properties so people could get cash out, or even just finance properties. Also, a lender had contacted me and they said that if I ever wanted to, I can also get more rental properties, and the only thing that I had to have was 10% down and a lease that someone was going to be living in the property, and that they would give me any properties, money to buy any commercial properties or rental properties with just that, having that in hand. Obviously, the interest rates are going to be up on these. The interest rates are not what they used to be. You need to watch out for the terms. You need to watch out for if you pay it off fast. You got to watch out for all the things that had been rectified when Obama was president. They had taken out a lot of the funny, gimmicky loans that were out there that were trapping people. So you have to watch out for that, because they're bringing all of that back. You're going to start seeing a lot of money flowing. You're going to think that it was back to 2001 all the way to 2007 all over again. House values are going to start skyrocketing, and people are going to start borrowing money against their properties, against their own home, and you're going to see all of this whole mess start over again. And if it lasts as long as it did the last time, you could say from probably now to 2022, 2023, or maybe 2021, where you're going to start seeing the downturn on that. So be very careful if you find yourself in a situation where you are looking to refinance your property. Be very careful. Don't sign up for any short-term loans, because one of the biggest problems that a lot of people ran into is they had loans where they were going to have to refinance after 3 to 5 years, and when the market in the housing bubble bursted, those individuals were not able to refinance. If all of them were able to refinance and get their loans at a good interest rate instead of having it adjustable, don't do any adjustable rate mortgages. That's what I was trying to thinking about. So don't do adjustable rate mortgages, because they'll say that within 3 to 5 years you can refinance, but if things change within that period of time and you're not able to refinance, property values go down, you're going to be stuck and you could lose your property. Lastly, let's talk about investments. One side, you got easy money. On the other side, you got where it opens up the opportunities. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. Just like I said, that the guy had reached out to me and he said that if you want to invest in properties, you just have to have a lease and 10% down, and you could get any property. So what I would say is that if anyone is looking to invest in real estate, if you can make that into a cash income property and you got money to back up for any vacancies and repairs that are needed, these could be good opportunities for you to get yourself into buying and selling real estate. And there's other business opportunities that are available. It doesn't just have to be real estate. There's a lot of online opportunities that are available. All you have to do is really look at problems that people have. If you're good at, if you see that there's problems that are out there and you're able to solve those problems in a good way that people can understand, you will have customers forever for your product and services. You just have to know how to go out there and sell it to people and show them the value of what you have to offer. So if you find yourself where you need help with credit, or you need to get your credit reports, the links are always either above or below this video. If you need to reach out to our office, you can send us an email at support@thecreditrepairshop.com. I hope everyone have a great weekend and continued success. Thank you for your time.